Hey guys, Pawpaw and Ivan. You know, I told y'all wanted to hear some videos about family and stuff. I'll tell you something about my dad. It's just one of the many stories you may hear about my dad. His name was Emery Jerome Morrow. He was a character. Now, my dad was kind of like our family doctor. I mean, not our real doctor, you know, not our real doctor. But for minor things, my dad was our doctor. You know, if kids come in and didn't feel good or something, you know, I'm gonna have to talk about it after you get a certain age. You know, my mom took care of the babies. You know, she did all the stuff for the babies. But you come in with a scrape or a scratch or something like that, my dad put some kind of homemade remedy on it, send you on your way, and it always worked. Stuff they learned over many years living on the farm. But something I never understood. Someone would come in with tummy ache or whatever, give him castor oil. That's the nasty stuff in the world. Why would you give anybody castor oil? You sit in the bed. I always send you to bed after they give you some kind of treatment. Who knows what's going on? You may not wake up, but anyway, you'd be out of the way. Another one, you have congestion. My dad would take that old Vicks Vapor Rub, just slap it all over your chest, all over your neck. Now go to bed. Go to bed. You feel better. Who can sleep? This greasy stuff all up underneath your throat. Every time you bend down, it sticks. It sticks. Yeah, it's crazy stuff my dad come up with. Another one was what we called monkey blood. It was actually a curacum, I guess. And gargle with it if your throat was sore. So pour stuff up, you know, gargling and all that stuff, and just nasty. But I guess it may have helped. I don't know. Campho-Phenique, and I'm a believer in Campho-Phenique. I am. I believe in Campho-Phenique. Campho-Phenique, I put on a cold sore or a fever blister, man, it'll dry that thing out and feel so, it make it feel better so quick, you know. But another one was methylatum. Now, methylatum's okay too, I guess. We still buy methylatum now and then, I guess, but Gigi won't buy Campho-Phenique. I have to buy it. She just doesn't like the smell of it. It's nasty and all that. But anyway, Mercurochrome is one we used. Methylatum, Vicks. And another about that old methylatum, if your nose is stopped up, you got a stuffy nose, shove all that stuff up your nose, all around your mouth, just don't put it in your eyes. Go to bed. You'll feel better. Oh, my dad had some cures. He also had some for grown-ups, not for kids. My dad was congested. And you got to remember, my dad never drinks. He was not a drinker. But if he felt like a cold or something was coming on, we had a little bit of whiskey. Kept whiskey in the cabinet. I bet that bottle lasted 10 years. You'd pour a little bit in a glass. About the same amount of honey. Squeeze a lemon in it. Heat it up. He called it a hot toddy. A hot toddy. He'd drink that and he'd go to bed. He'd feel great the next day. Awesome man. He was our doctor. Now, if it was something serious, they'd send us to the doctor, a real doctor. In fact, we had a doctor that was, you'd call him at home and he'd meet you at the office. You know, it was off hours, you know, after weekends or night. The fact was at church one night and my stomach was hurting real bad. Been hurting all evening. Down on my right side, hurting bad. And we come home. We left church early because my stomach hurt. I was just a little boy, 10 or 12, I don't know. And my mom come home. We called the doctor, and she's telling him about my symptoms. And he said, "You better bring him to my office." He said, "I'll meet you there." And luckily we did, because my appendix were about to burst. You know, the hospital was right across the street from his office, and he walked across the street with us to the hospital. Got me admitted, sent me right straight to the operating room, and he followed me right on down there and did it. Don't find them like that no more. You sure don't. But what I want to tell you about, mainly about my dad and me, our medical, my dad's medical field was, I was in athletics, you know, school, high school, and I'm gonna say something here. That you can run out to Walmart, you can find them. So it's nothing to be offended about. They sell a certain thing, or Academy, or Amazon, wherever. It's called a jock strap. I know, but it's for protection, for boys to be protected from an injury. Never understood them a whole lot because they don't have no back in them. I never understood that part. But I think they're a forerunner of what women call these thongs. I think that jock strap's a forerunner. They're kind of similar. Don't be listening, Ivan. And but these jock straps sometimes will rub you. They'll rub you raw, and those straps go down between your legs. On your legs, you know, actually on your legs. And you'll get irritated. Sometimes a little rash will break out. And they have a name for it. I'm not going to go into that. But sometimes this stuff's hard to cure up. It's almost feels like athlete's foot in the wrong place. Coach gives us these cream. He'd always give us cream for boys, get that stuff. And, yeah, I put this cream on. That cream never worked very good. Or he'd say, "Here, use this powder." Powder never worked much either. So I was kind of crippling around the house one day, and my dad said, "Son, what's wrong with you?" I said, "Dad, I got this rash, you know, from an old jock strap." "Oh, yeah, that stuff would be bad." yeah, Dad, but we're having a problem getting something to take care of. "Oh, son, I know exactly what to get." He said, "I'll pick you up Sunday morning. I stop on the way home from work. I'll stop at the store, get something." We come home with a little old bottle. I kind of think it might have just been battery acid, but I'm not sure. This old bottle, white squirt bottle, and sit on their foot medicine. I said, "Dad." They had a name brand, okay, but I don't know about, you know, even though the company's out of business now, I probably shouldn't use their name. But I said, "Dad, stop my feet." "I know, it'll work though. It'll work. You're on the porch." I'm sorry, Ivan's beating. Ivan's knocking this thing around. It's all Ivan's fault. It's Ivan's fault, folks. He said, "Go out on the front porch. Take your clothes off. Sit on that little stool out there. It's a screen porch. Nobody can see you." And he said, you squirt something on that infected area there and rub it in. So it'll burn a little bit. If you want to, take that little fan out there with you. So I did. So I'm out there on the porch, butt naked, Ivan, just like you are, butt naked. Nobody was there at our house but my mom. You couldn't see anybody on the porch, you know, with screens like that. Mom wasn't going to come out there. took a little fan, set it in front of me, and I start squirting, rubbing that stuff in, you know. And it immediately gets warm. It's kind of warm. Okay. But within about a minute or two, though, it's getting a little bit warmer, so I turned the little fan on low. And I'm sitting there, that little old fan. I gotta brush this guy while I'm doing this. And finally, Lowe's not gonna take care of it. Low just not enough. It's got past warm. So I'm having to stretch it out, you know, so I can get ventilation, and I turn the little fan up to medium. Got it turned up to medium there, and it was okay for a minute or two, and finally medium's not working. It's just not fast enough. And I'm stretched out as far as I can stretch. And I think, Dad, what have you brought home? So I turned the fan on high. Well, if you know anything about fans, about half of them want to start vibrating across the room. So here I'm stretched out trying to hold that fan and hold everything else. Get that air on me. And it's just not enough. It's not enough, folks. And I'm going to tell you what, I don't care if the preacher and half the church and the choir been out in my front yard. I was coming out of there. I come out that front door. I didn't look for cars, neighbors, or nobody. I'm butt naked, but I'm running. I run so fast, I guarantee you, I run so fast that day, and I've never been a real fast runner, but I run fast that day. I could have won any track meet, any race in America. I hit that cornfield, I had to slow down. The 25-acre cornfield, about the size, well, it wasn't always stretched from where Sister Kim lives, down that creek is washed out, all the way back to Uncle Riley's, then all the way over here to where I live. Lester's house would be right about the middle of the cornfield. I made 4 laps around that cornfield before I slowed down. My dad said it looked like hogs tore down about 3 acres back there. 3 acres of corn. Well, that was me, Dad. Sorry. Finally, it cooled down enough I could start trotting. And I trotted back up there as close to the house. And I'm looking to make sure I got that corn stalk. And I'm looking to make sure my mom's not outside. My modesty has come back. And I take off, get on the porch, put my clothes back on, and I happen to look down, and that skin was white as snow. White as snow. It had cooked it. You know, about 3 days later, it peeled off like a bad sunburn. Never hurt again. I've never had that stuff again. I'm immune to it now. It scar tissue. But it's never come back, and I went through sports, and I went through the Marines, and I went through all kinds of stuff, and I've been free of it. That stuff my dad come home was good stuff. And I used that stuff around here on these kids. I tortured them with it for years, till that little company finally went out of business. I think they all had a big celebration when it went out of business. My dad, the doctor, he had a cure for everything, folks. Hopefully you didn't get sick. All right, guys, it's Pawpaw and Ivan. Heidi's here. Yeah, I can't see her. She's on the other side of the table laying there. So Heidi, Pawpaw, and Ivan, and we're out of here.